record. Let's get some recording going. Got to get to the right one here. And we are going to record to the cloud.
Recording in progress.
Sure. All right, let's go ahead and open up the doors to our Zoom room here on Daily with Doc, zoom.com. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Becca Dukes, and I'm so excited to see so many people waiting in the waiting room as we are getting ready to share empowering information that allows you to be your own authority because you have information to add to what's already being fed to you as far as how to obtain or maintain health. Now, we're into the wellness side of health. We're not into sick management. We want to provide information that can be used as a resource for families, individuals, communities, the world with complete wellness, folks. So it's not too late. Even if you feel like you are death warmed over, it's not too late to be able to make positive changes in your life, in your intake of food, and specifically nutrition through supplementation, because our food is null and void of the nutrition that our bodies need to do more than just barely survive. Well, we're not in the barely surviving stage of wellness. We're into allowing people to be able to have the opportunity to thrive. Now, the content of this program is to provide educational information only. It is not to take the place of your primary care physician. Our products are not to diagnose, treat, prevent, cure any diseases. But folks, when you give your body quality supplementation, notice I mentioned quality. Supplementation that is in a form that the body can actually absorb, not just push through the system and make you feel good because, oh, I'm taking this, 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 and this. But just because you're taking something doesn't mean that it's in a form that the body can actually absorb. And just because you're taking something doesn't mean that your digestive system is in a state that you would be able to absorb. And that's what this program is here for, is to provide that information to help you obtain optimal health through thorough and just as complete as we possibly can in an hour information that just arms you and gives you more in your toolbox of what you can actually do. But it's more than just taking the information, it's taking action. So we are doing a call to action for everybody who this message is falling on the ears of, to take control of your own health. Take action. Listen closely, because the information you're going to hear today is not something that you're going to hear probably in any big building with a lot of white coats. Okay? Even if, well, scrubs. Let's just use scrubs because they're in all different colors now. But folks, this program has been brought together by dailywithdoc.com. And it is because of the transformations that I have felt, that myself personally, the transformations that I have been able to see as I'm helping other people through this journey to wellness. And it's all because of the doc that we have hosted on this program, Dr. Joel Wallach, and his research and his teachings and his influence into the formulas that we find as not just a supplement, but a solution. So without further ado, it is with great honor to be able to introduce to you and bring to you Monday through Friday from 12 to 12:50 p.m. Pacific time, somebody who not only is a doctor of natural medicine, but before he got to that doctor of natural medicine, he had around the world 3 degrees in pathology, postdoctorate degrees in pathology. He was a veterinarian, big and small. He was a pathology student and worked his way through college in the pathology lab, looking at so many different parameters of bodies. Now, human bodies, animal bodies, were all created. And to take his passion that he found in agriculture and plants and to see how they react within the body, because he learned at a very young age that when he changed what he was eating, his behavior changed. Things that he didn't have control over changed because of what he was putting in his body. So Dr. Wallach, thank you so much for joining us here on Daily with Doc. I know you've got some great information to share with us. What do you have for us today?
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca. You and your team are
And I apologize, everybody. We've been having some technical difficulties with internet.
Come to some conclusions that are freaking everybody out. Okay. I'm sorry.
So I'm going to turn off your video, Dr. Wallach. That way we can hear you better without any delays. I'm going to turn mine off as well, and let's let them have it without our cameras so they can focus on the message.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So we're going to go back to Adam. Okay. And so we're talking about more than 3,000 years ago. He lived to be 930. Noah lived to be 950. When you have, let's see here, Methuselah, he lived to be 969. Jared lived to be 962. And you know, I can go on and on and on, but you get the idea here. Okay. And Lamech lived to be 777. And they lived, was what was called the land flowing with milk and honey. And in Israel today, which was the land flowing with milk and honey, biblical time in the Old Testament, Israel, the life expectancy is 83, and Egypt, their next door neighbor, just like Canada is our next door neighbor, their next door neighbor, Egypt, their life expectancy is 71. So the Israelis live 12 years longer than the Egyptians, okay, which is kind of a small replication of what happened 3,000 years ago. All right. Now, to kind of keep pursuing this, I looked at in the 20th century, okay, one of the more famous pastors, Christian pastors, Billy Graham, lived to be 99, close to 100. Not 900, but close to 100, okay? And then a rabbi, a famous rabbi of the 20th century, Rabbi Arnold, let's see here, Jacob Wolf, lived to be 84, all right? And that's kind of good when you compare it to all the other people who, because their life expectancy in the United States is 75. Canada is 84. Why are they 84? Because they have the land flowing with milk and honey. What? Yeah, they are big. They have all these mountains and volcanoes, and they have the land flowing with milk and honey, which is the glacial milk. It's not cow's milk. It was the land flowing with milk and honey, which everybody tries to explain it with through cow's milk and goat's milk and camel milk and all that kind of stuff. No, it was glacial milk coming down from the mountains, which is there's many of in Israel. Okay. And so when you start looking at that, let's look at a little more information here. We look at Hawaii, one of our 50 states, United States, again, their life expectancy is 80.9. They have 5 active volcanoes. In Mississippi, they have 1 dead volcano. Their life expectancy is 74.4, 6. Let's see here. Just a little more than a half a year less than the average American because they don't have enough minerals. Okay, the land flowing with milk and honey was flowing with glacial milk. Chapter 10 of my book, Rare Earths and Cures. Chapter 10, this book, Rare Earths and Cures. And this book is flying out the door. We sold 5 cases yesterday. We had even Amazon ordered, I don't know how many books today from us of the rare earths been cured. There aren't a bunch of them because people are realizing the information how to add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life lies in our diet and our supplement program. Nutritional minerals do not occur in a uniform blanket around the crust of the earth. They occur in veins like gold and silver. Okay. Plants do not make minerals. What? You just kind of eat, you cannot eat well. The ones who are in the most danger are vegetarians because plants do not make minerals. Plants make vitamins, amino acids, and fatty acids are carbon compounds. You learn that in 4th grade. That the plants are green leafy, green leaves, they get the, thank you. They get the carbon dioxide out of the air and turn them into carbon compounds, vitamins, amino acids, and fatty acids. But they have to get the minerals from the soil, and plants only need 3 elements, NPK. We need 60 minerals, 60 minerals, okay? And the only way you're going to guarantee you're going to get them is the supplement with them, okay? Now, go back to the land flowing with milk and honey. In the Old Testament, the Old Bible, there's 21 of them in the Old Testament, and there's 100 references to the land flowing with milk and honey in the Old Testament.
Sorry about this, folks. We are having some technical difficulties with Dr. Wallach's camera with his internet. We do apologize. I don't know if he's going to jump back on here. We've been working on solutions for this. So if you could just bear with me 1 minute.
He's back. He just needs to unmute.
Okay, Dr. Wallach, could you unmute, please?
All right, Rebecca's going to see if she can get Doc's camera and stuff going. So bear with us, please. I'm sorry for this interruption in the show. Just bear with us, please. It's been an interesting morning trying to get it working. So Nancy, to answer your question, the audio will not be better on the phone. Just bear with us, please. Actually, while we're waiting for Rebecca to get things figured out, Marilyn had an interesting question that she was going to ask, so we can fill the space with that question, and I will answer her questions. So Marilyn, if you want to unmute and ask your question, that would be great.
Okay, fantastic. Hi, everybody. I have had individuals say that sometimes they feel the products are too sweet, and they specifically say beyond tangy tangerine and the OsteoFX. Now, what's interesting is the label says no sugars. So if you can give me options for them and how to make it less sweet, and also why it might be tasting sweet. You could answer
Okay.
both.
I get this question all the time, and a lot of times it's they're not adding enough water. Some people use an 8-ounce glass of water for the full scoop or 2 scoop, you know, or half a scoop of each. And that's just not enough water. So 16 to 24 ounces is a good amount of water. Some people are very sensitive to sweet, and Dr. Wallach's holding up a bottle of water. So I'm just going to finish answering this question, then we'll see what we got going on. And then sometimes if you add plant-derived minerals, like 1 ounce to it, that will cut the sweet. And other times, if people don't have that, then I recommend unsweetened cranberry juice. And you just add it to taste until it cuts the sweet.
What is
Okay.
making it so sweet? Is it just fruits, whole foods added, or do you?
Yeah, you're up here.
It's usually because it's too much water. But Dr. Wallach is back, so we're going to let him finish answering that question.
Yeah, let me answer that question. Okay, I'm on. You can hear me now, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Okay. Now you have to appreciate that when you have osteoporosis of the skull, it's affecting the tongue, the 9th cranial nerve, the glossopharyngeal nerve, and the 12th cranial nerve. It affects your taste. So if everything tastes sweet to you, it could be the 9th cranial nerve and the 12th cranial nerve being squeezed by your skull, and you have osteoporosis of the skull. It's a pathological issue. It's not what you're eating. It's your brain is interpreting things incorrectly because it's being squeezed by the skull when you have osteoporosis of the skull. Okay. And so that's a giveaway. Well, I don't have any sugar, but everything tastes sweet. Well, that's because your skull is squeezing the 9th cranial nerve, the glossopharyngeal nerve, which is at the tongue and your throat, and the 12th cranial nerve, okay, which also has something to do with taste, including sweet and sour. Okay. So that's a clue. Okay. And of course, we have this new book coming out here. Okay. It's a flip chart and one of these things that goes on your computers. And so hopefully by the end of this month, it'll be in the hands of the attorneys, and it's going to be 90 for Life crusade to save the world and humanity. Okay. And right now there's 65 pages in there. I suspect with the references and a few more pictures and things like that, it's going to be more like 75 pages kind of thing. And it's a presentation thing. And it's got at least a dozen famous people, attorneys, lawyers, people who are athletes, professional athletes, Olympic athletes. We have people who are
Professional recording artists and
Yeah,
actors,
yeah,
politicians.
recording artists, and also people who are in the government. Okay, we're talking about very high-end government people. Okay, and journalists and so forth. We're talking about athletes who are champions and so forth. We have women champions, we have men champions and stuff. So we kept the girls involved as well. Okay, and this is going to help people understand what they have to do to add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. And that's why I started out, again, with the life expectancy between the 20th century pastors and rabbis and stuff like that, because it's 800 years shorter than they were back in the days of the Old Testament. Now, why was that? Well, in the Old Testament, they lived in the land flowing milk and honey, which was what is now Israel. All of the stuff coming down from the mountains, which we now call glacial milk, back then they were just calling it the land flowing with milk and honey, because the water coming down from the mountains looked white because of all the rock dust in the creeks and the streams and so forth, made it look like milk. And they just figured that the good Lord gave us milk. Well, the good Lord did give us milk, but it's not cow's milk, it's glacial milk. Everybody needs to get a hold of that book. You want to hold that one up again, Becca? The book Cures. I mean,
Well,
it's going.
it's not goat milk either, Doc.
I'm sorry.
It's not goat milk either. There was
No,
a
it's
lot of
not.
goats back then.
It's not goat's milk. Okay, it's not camel's milk, goat's milk, cow's milk. It's glacial milk. And so once you realize it's the minerals, and we spent 6 months before we started the longevity business looking around where we're going to do something different. Why were we going to be different than everybody else? And then we discovered that the people, including the Hunses, who their life expectancy is 120 and our life expectancy is 75, okay, that's 45 years longer they live than us, on the average. So what is it? Well, it's all the glaciers that they live under. And we had some places like that called bottomland, okay? And we didn't call it glacial milk, but in bottomland, all that white stuff coming down from the mountains and the rivers in the spring when the snow would all melt would go in the fields, and when the water would dissipate from the floods over a couple of weeks, it left anywhere from a ½ inch to a couple inches of this silt on the fields. The farmer would go out and plow it in. They loved bottomland because they didn't have to fertilize it. They didn't have to buy fertilizer because they were getting the fertilizer naturally, okay, from the bottomland floods. And so once we dammed up the rivers to make electricity, hydroelectricity, it stopped all the flooding. And most of the people who drive in the streets and stuff like that, oh, it's great, we don't have to worry about floods anymore. But the farmers who had bottomland, they got cheated out of their free fertilizer, and the plants that they grew there are no longer plants that contain 75 minerals in them. Now they're just plants that have maybe 3 to 5 to 8 to 10 minerals. And so that's why you have to supplement. You cannot get everything you need just by eating well. That's why the life expectancy of billionaires is only 66.7. And that's why we have the CD, okay, it's called Dr. Wallach's, oh no, let me pack up. It's called, there's a new bull in town. This one, the new bull in town. There's 3 CDs in here. There's a new bull in town, okay? And this CD, there you go, actually teaches you why you need to supplement. We got our Rebut or sports drink with 100 nutrients in it, 75 which are minerals. They're plant minerals, 75 plant minerals. Red Bull only has 1, magnesium. So the first CD is dead athletes don't lie, just like dead doctors don't lie. Dead athletes don't lie. And the second CD is exercise without supplementation is suicide. That's why so many professional athletes and Olympic athletes don't do well. Their life expectancy in America is 57.6. You got to be kidding me. But they exercise. They're Olympic athletes. They're professional athletes. They eat well. Yes, but they don't supplement because somebody tells them just eat well. You don't need, who is it? Oh, it's the medical doctors. Just eat well. You don't need vitamins and minerals. Because when you're sweating, you're not just sweating out water. You're sweating out a soup of all your nutrients. And if you're not replacing them, okay, or I like to prevent. So you want to build up a nice store of all these minerals in your bones and your cartilage and your tissues, okay? And so if you have to miss a couple of meals, you're still going to get all your minerals you need just to walk down the street. And if you're exercising, now I walk 3 miles a day. I only weigh 142 pounds, but I take enough supplements for a 250 to 300 pound person. And I have been doing this for over, what, 75 years? Hello? Okay. And so this is why if you do these things, you will gain 25 to 50 healthy years in longevity to be with your relatives, your loved ones. I just get breathless when I think of what you can do for your family by giving them this information, getting them started on these programs. And if they don't want to do it, you've done your best. Keep giving it to them for their birthdays or anniversaries or their holidays and so forth. You just keep giving it to them. And every once in a while, they may take some. But if you stop giving it to them, they're not going to get it. Okay. And, you know, if you are a business person with longevity, you can actually write that off, you know, as giving away samples, which is what you're doing. Okay. So you get a tax break there. Okay. And so it's not like you're just throwing money away. You need to take care of the people you love. You need to take care of your neighbors, your church mates, your workmates, your family. And it will pay off because people will start calling you the salt of the earth. Well, salt's bad, it causes high blood pressure. No, salt is required by every cell in your body. And when you do something good, back in the old days, they knew that. And they said in the old days, you're the salt of the earth. Look that up. Okay, look that up. What does that mean? You're the salt of the earth. That means you're an angel. That means you're doing something good for your community, your family, your neighborhood, the world, when you're the salt of the earth. If salt was bad, we would say stuff like that. Okay. And so with all that said, we do have the seasoned salt from Australia, which has, I don't know, 28 minerals in it from the oceans around Australia. And then we have the Himalayan salt. And the life expectancy of the Himalayans who use, what is it they use for bread?
They use millet flour.
Millet. Yes, begins with an M, millet. They do not use wheat or oats for bread. They use millet. And then they have goats for milk and meat. And then they drink and they irrigate with their glacial milk, which has 75 minerals in it. That's why they live to be 120. They're living in the land flowing with milk and honey. Okay. And so we follow their examples. That's why we chose this system. We picked them. This is who we want to live like. We want to live to be 120 in a healthful way. Many of them live to be 130, 140, 150, right? And so we have work to do to get everybody going in the right direction here. If you're living on fast foods and soft drinks, you know, all the colas and ups and all that kind of stuff, and carbonated water, you're doomed. You're the emergency room doctors, their life expectancy in America, emergency room doctors in America, their life expectancy is 58.7 because they listen to themselves. They're just eating well. That's why they live to be 58.7. This is published every year because they try to see if it's getting better or worse. Every year in medical journals, it's published. It's not something, it's just being said. This is published in medical journals, very well documented. Okay. And again, Canada, their life expectancy is 84. Ours is 75. They live 9 years longer than us. Why? Because the land flowing with milk and honey. They have more volcanoes that are active than we have. And they have all this glacial milk coming down into their farm fields, which is their bottom land. Okay. And they don't use as much hydroelectricity as we do. So they're still plowing in all those minerals into the fields. And so that's why they live 9 years longer than us. Okay. This is not difficult. You just put dirt in your car and say, I don't have to put oil in my car. There's probably oil in that dirt from Texas. I save a lot of money by putting dirt from Texas in there instead of oil. You don't do that. You check the air in your tires, you check the oil in your car, you make sure you have plenty of coolant in the radiator and all that kind of stuff. You don't do that for yourself. You don't check yourself out every day like you do your car. Take care of yourself. Take the good stuff you need. Stay away from the bad stuff that will get you in trouble. And you'll add 25 to 50 healthy years to your life. You know, I was just 84 this last weekend on Sunday. And most people think I'm in my 50s when they look at my energy and, you know, what I look like. I don't look like I'm 84. Okay, I can still duke it out with the best of them. And when it comes to, I walk 3 miles a day. And as I'm walking, I do push-ups on a walker so I don't fall down or break a bone. Okay, I don't have any osteoporosis or anything like that, but I have a little injury from a thing up in Canada where I fell in a construction ditch and got punctured in many places with rebar, almost died. But at any rate, the thing is, I'm 84 and I can still walk 3 miles a day. I can do it all at once, but I don't. I walk a mile, then I do an hour's worth of work, and then I do another mile, then I do another hour's worth of work, and then I do another mile. Then after my 2 hours of radio and Zoom with Rebecca, I do another mile. Okay, and then I still do a lot of walking because we have so many things to do, and we live on a pretty sizable property, and it's one of those things where, you know, you got to kick out the bad guys, meaning coyotes and wolves, and welcome the deer and the antelope.
I haven't seen any wolves yet, Dr. Wallach. I think there's a wombat upstairs. You never know. But, you know, your wife, Milan, has the kindest heart. All the animals love to come and visit. And that just, that says something, Dr. Wallach. And I was so proud of you at Contact in the Desert. I mean, that was on a big resort where we had things going on throughout the whole campus of the resort. And you were just right there in step, not missing a beat, not even complaining in 100-degree weather. You did so fantastic at 84 years old and just kept that smile and that love for people. It was so inspiring.
I did drink Rebound.
Yeah, we had our rebound, that's for sure. We definitely had our rebound. Well, Dr. Wallach, we've got a few questions here. And folks, if you're here live with us on Zoom, thank you so much for your patience. Even if you're out not live with us and watching the live streams, we thank you for your patience as we're working through some technical difficulties. Technology is absolutely fabulous when it works right.
Becca,
yeah,
they're not even, they have patience.
That's right. I'm so glad that I'm not a doctor, Dr. Wallach, and I have more patience than I know what to do with. And I guess God blesses us whenever we need it. That's for sure. But let's go ahead and get to some questions, Dr. Wallach. And folks, if you're here with us and you have a question, please raise your hand. We will be getting to those questions. And order that they were asked. And the first one is going out to YouTube, and Angel is writing in about a 30-year-old man, 5'11", 155 pounds. He has a herniated disc, lupus anticoagulant, faint eye floaters, varicose veins, Raynaud's, poor circulation in the feet. And he's currently gluten-free, which he just became gluten-free. He's on the Ultimate Selenium, the Glucogel, and the Ultimate Daily Classic. But Dr. Wallach, what would you recommend for a full protocol for this young man? He's too young to have all this stuff going on.
Okay, well, none of this stuff has to do with aging. It's all due to nutritional deficiencies. Now, lupus, doctors will tell you have an autoimmune disease, your body's attacking itself. But it has to do with gluten because your intestines are dead when you have lupus. You can't absorb nutrition efficiently. Okay, so that's got to get, and he's done that. He says he's getting gluten-free. So it's gluten-free and buckwheat-free, okay? And then no fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, butter, and oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks. Even the diet drink's got to go, and the carbonated water has to go. And then his body weight, you said 155. I'd have him
Correct.
take two healthy brain and heart packs per month. That's what I do, and take a full dose of everything twice a day. He needs 2 bottles of MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, and 3 at dinner time. They're going to help support and promote maintenance repair of cartilage, ligaments, tendons, connective tissue, disc between vertebrae, bone matrix, and bone cell, includes his bone marrow, which is he needs for his white blood cells to support his immune system. He also will help his skin. I also want him to have our synaptive. He can take 3 of those twice a day, which I do. I want him to take our I-26, take 3 doses a day of that. That's going to help him rebuild his brain and his white matter in the brain and spinal cord. And for the floaters, I want him to have our occutive. He could take 3 of those twice a day. And then for the skin, he needs the healthy brain and heart pack. Is that right? No, he needs the hair, skin, and nails. Hair, skin, and
I
nails.
was going to say,
Yeah, hair, skin, and nails. He can take 3 of those twice a day. I do that. Okay, I only weigh 142. And then for veins and blood pressure and all that kind of stuff, he needs the Ultimate Daily Classic tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. And he's going to be a new man. But don't cold turkey off of any medication if he has high blood pressure. I didn't hear that mentioned. If he had high blood pressure, and he needs to stay on his medication, but as the blood pressure drops, you can slowly reduce the medication. If you get a sleepy an hour after dinner, that's called reactive hypoglycemia. He does need the sweeties. But when people have lupus, they can't absorb anything. So even if they're supplementing, okay, and they're eating gluten, it's all going out into the septic tank. So all the bugs in the septic tank are happy, but the guy's not happy. But we can get rid of everything he's complaining about, including lupus. It is not an autoimmune disease. Body's not attacking itself. It's a combination of gluten problems and secondary nutritional deficiencies. Now, if he wants to, he can speed things up by taking our ultimate enzymes, our gallbladder in a bottle. I do that. I take 2 of those at the beginning of each meal. Okay. And that helps you absorb all the nutrition, including essential fatty acids, which prevents strokes and blood clots and all that kind of stuff. So that's a lot. But what he's got, okay, these things can kill him. The lupus can kill him. Okay. And the veins being in trouble can kill him with blood clots and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And the disc between the vertebrae, is it really the disc between the vertebrae, or is it osteoporosis of the skull? Okay, so he really should get the book and the CD set, Osteoporosis of the Skull. It's all in your head. Okay. And then call us in 2 weeks and 4 weeks and 6 weeks, because he is going to have a great story. This is very common. This is a constant picture we see, you and I and the ladies see every day. You know, we see thousands of people from 80 countries every day. And what this guy's just described, we see all the time. Okay. And so we know we get the results. Okay. We just had such a great testimony a day or so ago.
yeah, yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. Yeah.
I
So
had all
the
these problems, and they were gone in a couple of months.
herniated disc, Dr. Wallach, there's an external device that you recommend that goes beyond nutrition. And I use it, and I hang upside down
Oh, an
just because
inversion.
it feels good. Yeah, the inversion table. So I know when I first started, I had heard you mention getting an inversion table, and I'd gotten on the Pig Pack Plus, and so I got the inversion table. I was going through compression, decompression therapies 3 times a week, Dr. Wallach, and it hurt so bad it felt good, but then I feel afterwards I still hurt, and I can do the inversion table here at home. It costs a fraction of the money. And it feels better. And it's using my own gravity, my own weight to be able to pull things apart, let things settle as you get upside down, and you're gently rotating, going up and down, up and down. I know that was a big part of what I think helped me, but it was the nutrition that was key, Dr. Wallach.
Well, yeah, you have to have the nutrition. Otherwise, you're not going to get the response from your exercises or whatever it is you're doing. Okay, you need to benefit from that by getting the nutrition. It's kind of like if you run your car without oil and you run your car without air in the tires, you run your car without coolant, you're not going to run very far.
No, you're not going to run very far at all. And there is a story that I know about, Dr. Wallach, where even somebody that had severe muscle atrophy has been able to take the nutrition, and you would never know it now. Not at all. And has been able to build lots of great muscle and just create a body through nutrition and nothing artificial, none of those hormones, none of the testosterone, none of the extra, what did you say?
No surgery.
Yeah, no surgeries. No surgeries. So you can do a lot when you give your body can do a lot when you give it what it's really needing. Well, Dr. Wallach, let's go to our first hand up, and Deborah. Deborah, go ahead and unmute yourself, and then we'll get to TC.
Hello, Dr. Wallach. Hello, everyone. My question is, I have a 54-year-old female that is 160 pounds. She's 5 feet, 5 inches, and she has been diagnosed with breast cancer. She's had a bilateral mastectomy, and she's struggling with this whole concept that cholesterol does not cause heart attacks. So she's on cholesterol-lowering medication.
Okay, well, cholesterol-lowering medications is her biggest enemy at this point. Cholesterol medication is her biggest enemy at this point. Cholesterol-lowering medication is the enemy for her at this point. Do I have to say it again? Okay, no. All right. Cholesterol makes up 25% of your brain weight, 25% of your spinal cord weight, and it's called myelin. It's the white matter of the brain. Also is the covering for all the nerves in your body is cholesterol. Makes up 95% of estrogen and 95% testosterone. Cholesterol is extremely important. And she's going to wind up with Alzheimer's disease. She'll wind up with things like MS, Guillain-Barré syndrome, which is MS of the spinal cord. She can wind up with this new one, FTD, frontal temporal dementia. She wind up with, if she has tremors with it, they'll call it Parkinson's disease. These are all just simple deficiencies of cholesterol. Cholesterol does not block your arteries. That was a big mistake they made over 100 years ago, about 120 years ago. Made a big mistake by saying cholesterol is what was blocking your arteries. That was not true then. It's not true now. Okay, but they've killed more people with that instruction than all the wars that we've died in fighting to save America. Okay, you need cholesterol. Okay, and so we have I-26. She needs the I-26. 3 servings a day. Okay, that's to rebuild her white matter in her brain and spinal cord and all her nerves and everything. She needs 2 of the Healthy Brain and Heart packs per month because she weighs, what did we say, 155?
160.
150 or 160?
160.
Yeah, okay. And so she needs 2 Healthy Brain and Heart packs, full dose of everything twice a day. She needs 2 of the bottles of MSM. So you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. And again, that's to rebuild cartilage and ligaments and tendons and bone marrow. So you can have white blood cells and red blood cells and platelets and all that kind of stuff. And also rebuild the skull. She needs the collagen peptides. It's good with the morning drinks with the evening drink. She needs the collagen peptides. Let's see here. excuse me, I want her also to have the synaptive, 3 of those twice a day. I do that. And 2 bottles a month. It's going to help with the brain cells talking to each other, the brain cells talking to the spinal cord talking to the brain cells. And again, don't forget that I-26, that's so important. I have people who hate supplements, but they love that I-26 that comes in 3 ways: the powder, capsules, and chewable. I like the chewables because they taste like vanilla ice cream and they're soft and chewy, not crunchy, dusty things. Okay, so and don't forget the rebound for the energy. Our rebound, we have the sticks, we have the canisters. Each dose of the sticks, there's 36 in a box. There's 36 servings of canister. Each serving in the canister are the sticks contains 100 nutrients, including 75 minerals. We do have the cans, but the cans do have carbonation in them. So I recommend if you're going to drink the cans, which I do at home, I take the sticks and the canister on the road, but at home I take the cans, pop the tops at night, put them in the refrigerator. So in the morning, all the carbonation is gone. So I drink one with breakfast. I'll have a half one at lunch. The second half of the second one I'll drink during the afternoon, so I have energy all day. Our rebound has 100 nutrients in it. Red Bull has 1 mineral, magnesium. A lot of sugar, a lot of caffeine. That's what drives their energy, is sugar and caffeine. Okay, but they run out of steam somewhere along the line. Okay, and bad things happen. And so that's why we came out with the 75 minerals in our sports drink. We actually made it for Theo Ratliff in the beginning. Okay. And so he came out, he lost his position with Atlanta Hawks because he had bone-to-bone arthritis in his knees, only 24. His hips, his fractured his shooting arm wrist. He was the top shot blocker, one of the top scorers. And for the Atlanta Hawks and also for the entire NBA, but they took his contract away and kicked him out because he had all these things falling apart. We came up with a healthy bone and joint pack for him and rebuilt him. He came back and played for another 11 years, made $100 million in contract. Was that cool?
Yes.
So that's where this comes in. We have so many stories like that from so many athletes, including Theo Ratliff. We have the stories. There's a female in here. Okay. And she was a basketball player. She played professional basketball. She was All-American when she played in college for the University of Tennessee. Okay. And Kelly Herron is her name. Okay. And her picture's in here. I'm with her and I'm up to her armpits. And and same way with Theo Ratliff, I'm up to his armpits. And then championship boxers like Evander Holyfield, all these politicians, pastors, so many great pastors, including, let's see here, Pastor Mike Freeman up in Baltimore, Maryland. And then, let's see, what's another big pastor in this book here?
Creflo Dollar, Dr. Wallach.
There you go, Pastor Creflo Dollar. He and I went around the world. Okay, we went all over the country. He introduced me to the Black community. Okay, Pastor Creflo Dollar. So we're just really so proud that this is all happening. And of course, we have politicians in here. We have scholars. We have all kinds of people. Pat Boone's in here, famous singer and actor. Danny Glover, famous singer and actor and comedian. He's in here. Okay, so it's not like we're making this stuff up. So I hope that helps you out.
It does. She also has a severe constipation that she's had since she was a child.
Well, she needs to be sure she's staying away from all the bad stuff: fried foods, processed meats, oils, glutens, wheat, brown rice, oats, sugar, carbonated drinks. Even the diet one's got to go. Bubbly drinks got to go. Carbonated water. And we do have, let's see here, we have the ultimate enzymes, which we call the gallbladder in a bottle. It wouldn't hurt for her to have 1 or 2 of those, say 5 or 10 minutes for each meal, a couple ounces of water. And let's see here, anything else you'd recommend?
Yeah, I would recommend that one, the herbal rainforest, but also our daily digest packs. Those are incredible when it comes to digestive issues, especially that like constipation.
Well, there
So
you go.
daily digest, ultimate daily digest. And Dr.
sure.
Wallach, we're talking to an amazing pastor right now.
I'm sorry?
So Pastor Deborah Smith,
Okay.
she's pretty awesome, Doc. She's part of our team.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you. I know he loves you.
Yes, he does.
Yes.
He does. Thank you.
God
All right.
bless.
Thank you. And we have lots of hands going up, Dr. Wallach. So let's just jump right over to TC. TC, go ahead and unmute yourself. If you'd like to come on camera, you don't have one. So just go ahead and talk, TC.
Hello?
Okay, talk loud. I can barely hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hello, Doc. Hello, Joel.
Yes, sir. We got to
Can
go
you hear
quick.
me?
Yes, but we're towards the end of the program. You got to go quick, sir.
Okay. First off, I've been taking, first off, I'm 67 this weekend, and I'm 150 pounds, 5'9". And I've been taking Beyond Tangy Tangerine for the last 4 years. I've taken Immortalium for the year and a half now. The thing is, I have a left inguinal hernia, which I got about 6.5 years ago, and I have gray hair. And about a year later, I got a hemorrhoid. All right. Now, I've had a few other injuries that are minor. I don't know if you want me to go on or you want to ask me
So let's
anything.
stop there
Okay.
because we only have a moment. Okay. So you're taking part of the recipe. If you have a cake recipe with 18 ingredients, you only put 4 of the ingredients in there, you're going to get the best result. No, you're just taking bits and pieces. You're not taking the entire thing.
Okay.
So instead of just taking the Tangy Tangerine, I want you to take 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month. Okay. It's a big difference. Okay. Of the healthy brain and heart pack and just a Tangy Tangerine. Okay. And so take 2 healthy brain and heart packs per month, full dose of everything twice a day. You need 2 bottles of MSM, take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. You need the collagen peptides, take a scoop of that with breakfast, a scoop of that with dinner drinks. You also need to get one of those belts that you wear with a hernia, a big pad on it that holds a inguinal hernia in. Okay. Put your feet in such a position in your bed, put a 4x4 underneath the feet of your beds, so the hernia thing is going away. Okay, taking the pressure off the hernia site in your inguinal area. Okay, and then we have the hair, skin, and nails. Take 3 of those twice a day. We take 3 times a day. I take 3 twice a day. I only weigh 142 pounds. And again, for the hemorrhoids, I'd also take the healthy brain and heart pack. We already said that. We need the Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets, 3 words, Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets. Take 3 of those twice a day. That's going to support healthy blood vessels, red blood cells, white blood cells. It's going to support healthy arteries and veins, blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. And so give us a call every couple of weeks. If you're on any kind of medications for blood sugar, for blood pressure, don't cold turkey off of them. But you're going to start seeing, I had white hair until we came up with the hair, skin, and nails. And now even the girls were saying today, oh, your hair is all dark brown now or black, where it had been white years ago. Okay. And that's not, I'm not dyeing my hair. It's coming from taking all these nutrients. It's just telling me that I'm giving my body what it needs, including the skin. Okay. Which is kind of like a early warning signal. So with that, I'm going to turn this back over to Becca. I don't know if you have one more we want to get to or.
Yes, Janet is on high blood pressure medicine. She's 62 years old, 5'10", 165 pounds. Her feet have started to swell slightly, and healing is slowed significantly when scratched, cut, or bruised. Also has an aorta defect of dissection.
Okay, artery dissection. Okay. All right. And she weighs 150, 165.
165 pounds.
Okay. Well, she's getting rid of all the bad foods. No fried foods, no processed meats, no oils, no glutens, no wheat, bran, oats, no sugar, no carbonated drinks, even no buckwheat, no carbonated drinks, even the diet ones got to go, and the carbonated water's got to go. She needs 2 healthy brain and heart packs a month, the full dose thing twice a day. She needs 2 bottles of MSM, so you can take 3 at breakfast, 3 at lunch, 3 at dinner time. It's going to build all this cartilaginous stuff, rebuild that, including the artery walls, including the aorta. Okay. And because of the high blood pressure, I wanted to have the Ultimate Daily Classic Tablets, 3 of those. Let's see, she could go through 3 twice a day. Okay. I do that and I weigh 142. It'll be 2 bottles a month. And let's see here, that's gonna help her. If she's on high blood pressure medication, don't cold turkey off of it, but as the blood pressure drops, she can slowly reduce medication based on the numbers. Let's see here. She has, let's see here. Oh, okay, she should also take our rebound or spore shrink with 100 nutrients in it. And she can have at her body weight. I take 2 doses a day. At 165, she could take 2 doses a day, no problem. But if she takes the cans, she got to pop the tops on them in the night before she drinks them, so that, and put them in the refrigerator so they'll be flat in the morning. All the bubbly will be gone. Don't forget the ultimate enzymes. I do take those. She needs the ultimate enzymes to help her absorb all this stuff. Okay. But that collagen peptides, the MSM is also going to help her rebuild the artery, because when you have an artery defect, whether it's aorta or pulmonary artery or arteries in your leg or anything, when you get those artery defects, it's because you're not getting enough of the connective tissue maintenance materials, which are in, okay, which are in the MSM and the collagen peptides. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallach. And everybody, if you were invited to this program by somebody specific, please make sure that you get back with them, ask them how they prefer to get their products, because there are several different ways to get products, because we are an army of health coaches, people that care about health and have decided to build an income stream around health and nutrition. So make sure that you get back with them. If you have never spoken to anybody about longevity or the products or Dr. Wallach, we invite you to go to dailywithdoc.com. This is our website where the Daily with Doc team are part of it. And we have a store there that lists all the products that Dr. Wallach is speaking of. We also have our sign up for our newsletter. Sign up for our newsletter, get plugged in. If you have a question for Dr. Wallach or about your health and you would like to get some nutritional suggestions, submit your suggestions there on that form to sign up for our newsletter. We will get one of our certified holistic health coaches to respond to you. If we don't know the answers, we have direct connections with Dr. Wallach, and many times I'll bring those questions on here on Daily with Doc as well. But we want to make sure that you are getting the information that you need as an empowered individual to make those informed choices that just make sense. Folks, our food has no nutrition. So if we eat because we feel like we're hungry, it's not because we're hungry. It's because our body is saying, hey, I need something more, but it's not calories that it's screaming for, folks. It's the nutrition. And that is where longevity and its formulas within the product line meet those deficiencies. I can go, well, I very seldom have any cravings. And I can go a long time without eating because I'm not starving. I eat because I know I need the calories. I need, it just makes sense. But when you crave all the time, that doesn't make sense. It's because your body is trying to tell you something. It needs nutrition. So we invite you to try Dr. Wallach's formulas as a solution to not just health and the problems that people have going on with their health, but a solution to a food supply that is null and void of what the body really needs. So if I could get my co-hosts up with me, I'd greatly appreciate that, because I couldn't do this without them. We thank everybody that's out there on YouTube, everybody who has joined us through the live stream. We had quite a few viewers today, quite a few people in the chat talking. We had AJ out there as our coach, helping people and making sure that I got their questions in front of me so that I could see them as things are scrolling through. We have Marilyn here in the live Zoom with us and retyping what Dr. Wallach recommends and putting it in that chat so that then AJ or Ruth Ellen can take that valuable information and share it in YouTube as well. That we're just a team. We all work together. And we have Ruth Ellen. She's my production manager. She's my executive production manager, and helping make sure that everything goes smoothly in the areas that she's able to, while I'm working with the technical issues on this end. But I couldn't do it without these folks. We are a community. We are a family. We are a team. And folks, if you're looking for that type of environment where people are working together, like-minded, wanting to serve and be a blessing to others as we are providing solutions, that folks, if you take the supplementation and you give the body what it's needing and the body's absorbing, the cells are going to get healthier. The body will become healthier. It just makes sense. So if you're wanting to be part of something that just makes sense, whether you want to just try the products or join us on this crusade, please go to dailywithdoc.com, use that contact option on the website, or get back with the person that shared this program with you, because we have open arms. There's no prejudging. If you have a heart for others, or even yourself, and you just want to make yourself and your family healthy, and then those around you see, hey, they're getting healthy, what are they doing? And they ask, you can actually get thank you checks from Longevity for sharing your recommendations. You can't do that for sharing your favorite cologne. Well, unless it's one that Longevity offers. I was going to say, or your shampoo, unless it's one that Longevity offers, because, you know, both of those are part of what I love, and Longevity offers them. So thank you again for joining us here on Daily with Doc. My name is Becca Dukes, and it is my honor and privilege to be able to be a resource and provide this information to you. Feel free to join us next time, Monday through Friday, dailywithdoc.zoom.com. from 12 to 12:50-ish Pacific time. That is on Zoom. So make sure that you can join us from a computer, a laptop, a mobile device, anywhere that has connection. If you sign up for our newsletter, we even send you out reminders that have a phone number that you can call in. A little more difficult to ask questions that way, but we want to make sure that we are meeting people where they're at so that they too can be included in this crusade to save humanity and the world. Until next time, bye for now.